Peace, and bless you for coming back. We will now continue. Speaking of marriage, as far as the Arabic Quran concerns, marriage is only the agreement or contract between a man and a woman. Therefore, you do not need anyone to tell you, with the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. And a husband is the master of the house, and his wife has to submit to him, and he must give her her wages. So if someone cannot afford to get married with a believing first-class citizen, he can get married with a second-class citizen, or just wait until Allah provides for him. And if they divorce, then they need two males as witnesses. At the beginning, Allah created Adam from an aged, wet, sticky mud, and when he was created, Allah praised himself. Then after that, Allah created Adam's wife from part of Adam's body. So again, another Adam was created. That is why Allah calls her Adam's wife in the Arabic Quran, and not Eve. That we came up with. So Adam's wife was created from Adam, so she is not a complete creation herself. That is why man and woman are not created equal. Why Adam's wife was not created as complete creation as Adam? I don't know. You may take it up with the Supreme Court. At this point, the ones who do not submit to Allah's system, they want to kill you. It took us 70 or 80 years that our brain and thoughts turned 180 degrees. That is why we are thinking different now. But we have to adjust our thoughts and behaviors to the way we were before. Allah makes it easy for submitters. You must remember, Allah's system never changes. Yet we changed it, and that is why we are suffering the consequences in our society. When you burn your food, that means you went wrong somewhere. You must go back and start from the beginning again. But now we are eating from that burned food, and that is why every day we are suffering from a new disaster. Allah's system never changes. And there are so many societies which still behave like we used to behave before, but unfortunately, we are misleading them as well. Do you know how? We are going to those societies under the name of democracy and modernization, and we are changing and misleading them one by one. As Allah says, if we mislead people, we would suffer the consequences. We disturbed Allah's balance, and we deserve punishment from Allah. That is why Allah sent these mathematical signs to two known scientists of this country. Normally, signs come down to the communities who are doing something wrong. Otherwise, if you are driving flawless, you would not get a ticket. We see time to time in our society that man of the house had sex with his servant, and then she got pregnant, and she gave birth. And the man of the house supported all of them. Then in our society he would become a talk of the day, following with lots of embarrassments in news media like California's governor. As far as Allah is concerned, this is perfectly legal. We also see in different parts of the U.S. men with a few wives, and they are living happily. These are all in Allah's scriptures. And now we have the scientifically purified, proven Arabic Quran, and Allah clearly dictates His Arabic law in it. Only submitters accept these laws. You do not want to listen to people's conjectures. You just want to know the true words of Allah, because whatever you see and you do not see belong to Allah, and happiness is submission to Allah. Aren't you tired of listening to people's conjectures? You might want to just turn off your TV and research in Allah's scriptures. We are here only and only to make Allah happy. You do not want to be among the average people. Only a minority of the minorities will make it through. Let people laugh at you because you are different, and let us laugh at them because they are all the same. These laws are clear, as you can watch me and listen to me in your computer, iPod, iPhone, and TV, because we all have proven scientifically mathematical basis. These days, most of the items that you see around you are made of only two numbers, 0 and 1. Let us go back to our story. The wife, who is tired of raising 4 sons, is not going to be bothered by her husband begging for sex. On the other side, the female servant has someone who would be her companion and provider, so she is happy. And the man of the house would not go around cheating on his wife either. These days, everywhere you turn, you would find that they are encouraging you to have sex with everyone. We ask our little children, do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? So we bring up our children in order to have sex with each other. Then when husband or wife cheats, then everybody jumps at them. Why? The best is to stop encouraging people to commit idolatry. Allah says, your wives are your garment, and you are their garment. What a beautiful phrase. That means husband and wives are the only ones who are allowed to touch, feel, and see each other's body. Yet these days, everyone wants to take their clothes off in front of others. Just look at those 50-year-old movies, and then you would see how much we've changed. Satan is having fun. These are Allah's laws, and his laws never change. Let us purify the religion for Allah. Let us help Allah if we want Allah to help us. But unfortunately, we disturbed Allah's balance a few years back by putting women to work, and now mostly women are the bread earners and men are sitting at home taking care of the housework. When we disturbed Allah's balance, everything else will get disturbed as well. Look at art, design, and music. They are all out of balance. It is because we forgot that this universe had a creator and a designer, and we forgot Allah's designs and creations. We are all witnessing the unfortunate results of disturbing Allah's system in our society, as divorce rates, homosexuality, 19 million fatherless orphans, 1.5 million homeless children. Just Google it and find out how many homeless men who used to be the bread earners before we have in the U.S. now. These are all the consequences of disturbing Allah's balance. Allah wants you to reflect and think all the time, so you do not want to be among the average people. Thank Allah for his knowledge. We haven't even started yet. Anyhow, then Yaqub's servant gave birth to some more children, and they gave him another wife, and then he had more children. But he used to love another girl, which he could not marry her before, and this time he went ahead and married her on his own. She was among the righteous believers, and he was in love with her. He had Yousof and his brother Binyamin from her. Binyamin means the right-hand son, the favorite son, but we changed his name to Benjamin. You could recognize jinns interfering in his name with that J added to his name. Then Youssef's brothers schemed, and at first they decided to kill him or throw him in a faraway land so their father could pay more attention to them. One of them said, "Do not kill him, throw him in the deep well so a caravan could pick him up." Now remember, these are all in accordance with the will of Allah. This shows that Yousof has told his brothers about his dream, because he was just a child and he did not know any better. If you tell your son, "Do not get close to the swimming pool when you are not with him," then one day you find him drowned, you would know that he did not listen to you. We have the same story here. Remember, Satan makes us forget things as well. All of his brothers decided to kill him. Do you realize the power of jealousy which turns you to commit such a cruel act to the point that you want to kill a child who is innocent and he is part of your close family members? This is a result of an act of sedition. Satan probably remembers Yousof from the other side that he was a good soul, because in this world he cannot recognize who is the righteous and who is not, because he is lost himself. That is why he knows that he cannot harm the believers, because he promised Allah before. But he is always waiting and watching and lurking for the believers if they make a mistake, so he could harm them. So Satan plans a scheme to hurt him indirectly by enticing and poisoning his brothers with his whispers. And if you have a bad soul, you will be enticed by Satan's whispers. So the brothers told their father to trust them, so they can take Yousof with them to the field, so he can enjoy and play, while they would be watching him. Yaqub said he would indeed be saddened if they took him, because he would miss Yousof. He liked him so much. Then here Yaqub made a mistake and forgot Allah's protection by saying, "I fear that a wolf might eat him while you are not watching him." Also, that shows that Yousof was just a child, and he could not have protected himself. And wolves always they go after other animals' weak babies. Now remember, Allah told him that your son would be a chosen son, and Allah would complete his blessings upon him, yet he forgot. We always want to be a protector of our family, but Allah is constantly telling us that we are his creatures and he would be responsible for our protection, not our parents or our family members. On the dollar bill says, "We trust in God." Actually, it should have said, "We are totally depending on Allah," or letting Allah be our attorney. So that was a wrong phrase. Do you remember money is my God? No wonder we are suffering from economic disaster with all of these unemployment issues. We are human, and in Arabic language the word for human is insan, from the root word of nasiya, meaning forgetful. Do you remember those big shots who were embarrassed in our society? At first when we heard about them, That made us so excited and we were jumping up and down. But after a few years, we do not even remember them. We have to remember and remind ourselves all the time that the rule in Allah's system is that whoever believes and leads a righteous life should not fear, nor should they grieve. This is Allah's law, and Allah addressed all the correct behaviors in His Arabic Quran for us. So this is another reason for you to study the Arabic Quran. Finally, they convinced their father in order to take Yousof, so they threw him in a deep well. Right there, Allah revealed to Yousof that one day you will tell them all about this, which they would not have a slightest idea about that. So they brought back his shirt with fake blood on it, and they said to their father that the wolf devoured him. Then he said, I resort to quiet patience, because he could not do anything else but wait. Could you imagine? This is how powerful jealousy is, despite the fact of their father was a prophet from Allah. Anyway, a caravan picked him up and sold him to a slave to the governor of Egypt for a cheap price, because they did not need him. Governor said to his wife that let him stay here and be nice to him. Maybe he would benefit from us, and we may adopt him as a son. This shows that they could not have a child. Allah wants us to reflect on the ayat of the Arabic Quran. This is how Allah established him on the earth and blessed him with the interpretations of the dreams. Allah is always in control. So he grew up, and Allah gave him hikmat and knowledge even when he was young. He became a very handsome young man. Then the wife of the governor wanted to seduce him, and she locked all the doors and said to him, Come here. And he said, I seek refuge in my Lord. He indeed gave me a good place to live. Now the word Rab means Lord, Ilah, and also means the master. And this story means the master of the house. So he was saying that your husband gave me a good place to live, and also means my Lord gave me a nice place to live. This is the intricacy of the Arabic language. So she desired him, and finally he desired her as well. Then he saw a proof from his Lord, and that is how the evil of the immorality was diverted from him, because he was a sincere believer. Please pay attention here. As the Quran says, finally, Yousof desired her as well. Remember, humans are created weak, and people getting seduced every day because of that. And only Allah can help us. Therefore, Allah intervened and diverted the evil from him, only because Yousof was one of Allah's pure servants. Otherwise, he could not have controlled himself, because he was one of those who purified the religion for Allah. He was a sincere and a dedicated servant of Allah, so Allah helped him. No one can protect himself or herself, and only Allah is able to do that. Now you are going to see the ayat of the Quran. Until the next tape, peace.